Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications on future uploads. Hello everyone, Someone Bard here, or you can call me Sulli. As I go on more of Warner Brothers' 100th anniversary, I want to review a film to celebrate the release of Joker Folie, Deux, which is now playing in theaters. And the original film I'm looking at, which takes inspiration from Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy, is one of my top 5 favorites when it was released, and I want to go over it more as I have more of a personal view on it. Originally released on October 4th, 2019, it's the simply titled Joker. Director Todd Phillips had made an engaging psychological drama based on the characters from DC Comics with great characters, a deeply intense story, and haunting music. Set in Gotham City in 1981, a man named Arthur Fleck works as a clown for a clown rental business, but is inspiring to be a stand-up comedian thanks to watching Live with Murray Franklin, a late-night talk show starring Murray Franklin. But Arthur suffers from a condition called pseudo-Palmer effect, which causes him to have uncontrollable laughter. Yet he does go out with Sophie, a single mother who's also Arthur's neighbor in the same apartment he lives at, where he lives with his mother Penny Fleck, who not only worked with Thomas Wayne, but claims he's Arthur's father. But when performing as a clown in a children's hospital, Arthur accidentally exposes a gun which was given to him by his co-worker Randall for safety. Yet Arthur gets ratted out by Randall and is fired for bringing the gun, which Arthur claims to be a prop. At a subway train, Arthur gets mocked and beaten by 3 men due to his laughing, and Arthur shoots the 3 men dead. But the men happen to work for Wall Street, and their demise is being done by a guy in a clown mask causes mass protests from the lower and poor classes against the rich and Thomas Wayne, who's running for mayor of Gotham City. And despite having caused all this, Arthur's troubles were getting worse, from losing access to his medication and therapy visits, to finding out what his true past is and of his mother, to being humiliated by his hero Murray Franklin for making fun of Arthur's try at stand-up. And so, Arthur justifies his means by taking sinister turns at those he believed wronged him. The whole film is very different from a typical DC movie, as it's more grounded in reality, yet it doesn't have any of the usual superhero action or big effects. But despite it featuring the Wayne family, which not only includes Thomas and Martha, but also has Alfred Pennyworth and a young Bruce Wayne, the film also features the cliché Bruce's parents getting shot in the alley, which I do get that it didn't need to happen considering this film is its own thing, set in an elsewhere universe. Yet if I have my issues with this being a shoehorned moment that even the Batman was grateful to not include, it really isn't the focus. It's mainly centered on Arthur, and Joaquin Phoenix played it to a wonderful degree to even win an Oscar. Everything he does in this felt pretty good, and it really hit me as well as disturbed me in all the right ways. From his slow dancing in the restroom that's his way of keeping calm after shooting the men from Wall Street, to him dancing in a long stairwell, to his laugh he believes is a condition, to most of his confessions, to his depressions, to his fantasies, and to his smiles. With this one I found to be the most creepy, when draining out his conversation with his boss, letting all his anger build up into a smile he couldn't hold back. Other things I enjoy is the pacing. It's the right amount of slowness where you feel every build-up that's happening, and feel the madness going through. All woven immensely with the Oscar-winning music of Hildur Guðnadóttir. Sorry if I mispronounced her name. It sounds very haunting and visceral that it nearly gave me chills, with many string instruments going deep and hard. And it's not in your face or in any way epic. It's as deeply dark and distressed as its main lead. But going back to the lead for a bit, and to be personal about it, Joaquin's portrayal is something I can bizarrely relate to. Not to the extent of killing anyone for being mean and awful, but to laugh when you have nothing to lose. I know it's wrong to relate given that Arthur laughs at the misfortune of others or at the thought of doing harm, but I myself tend to laugh or chuckle at some inappropriate moments even as a kid, and I regret most of it. Yet in the face of many troubling issues I go through, I veer myself to what Marge Simpson would say. At times like this, I guess all you can do is laugh, despite the problem not being remotely funny. But I always have the same stigma, like Arthur said, that comedy is subjective, even when the subject matter in question is horrible and is too soon to make a joke of. And in my defense, I would think of a different subject entirely to keep me cheered up, and not wanting to bring up any grim reality, especially in these days. And overall, I find Joker to be very well made. It can come off as disturbing and very gritty given the subject matter, but I was surprised back then and still now with how much I got into it, for its music, its pacing, its heavy moments, its dark tone, its themes of low class against the rich, and subject matters of mental illness and abuse, and of course, Joaquin Phoenix, and how much his take of Joker is one I can easily relate to. It's not too often I would give films like this much praise with little problems, but that's how I view it. 3 Bugs Bunnies. And that is it. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow on Facebook or X. Support me on Patreon. And you may be wondering why I'm sitting down here instead of being in front of my bookcase with all my DVDs. Well, the answer is very simple. Sulli-Ween has just arrived.